Me and Jack are just going for a walk into the forest to try and get a bit of fat wood for the fire. Bit dry. What I tried to do is find fallen pine trees and then chop the little limbs off as close to the trunk as possible. You normally get some resin inside, which is highly flammable. There's not many trees here that look like they've fallen since my last visit here. There's a possibility that the resin can dry out after a period of time. I don't know that much. You see, that is what we're potentially looking for. See, it's a nice dark orangey brown inside. Yeah, you can smell it. So I've cut that right next to the trunk, and you should get about 4 to 6 inches. See, it's starting to dry out that end now, but that end nice and dark. So all I'll do then, get my knife and just take this bark off. It's so peaceful round here. There's a little breeze now and again, just enough to keep the flies at bay. So anyway, you don't want to watch me do the whole of this. I'm going to get a few more, because we're going to cook up our evening meal tonight, which is called our tea. Not dinner, tea. So we'll use some of this fat wood to get the fire started. And Sarah is currently making a ham and cheese toastie while I come and get this wood. And in case you're remotely interested, I've got one of these cheap little pouches. It attaches to your belt. I just put it in a bag. And it's just a little cloth bag. Stick my bits in there, eh? Ready to walk? Come on, let's go. Come. Proper campervan grub. I've just rattled off a load of blurb on me fire pits, me little babies. I'll put that in a separate video because not everyone wants to see fire pit stuff, do they? But if you haven't watched it during filming the fire pit stuff, Jack got his head stuck in a load of flowers and bushes over there. Then we heard a little squeak, and then he had a mouse in his mouth, and 20 seconds later, gone. So it either did a miraculous escape or Jack was chewing on fresh air, but we think he's just ate a live mouse because he's a knobhead. And then Sarah found a tick on his head. So awareness. Check your dog, check your own, check yourself. Ticks are out. A little tiny red one it was. If you're remotely curious as to where we are, we won't go into it too much because you've seen us here before. We're at the cottage up in the hills in North Wales. In fact, some of you have even been here with us before. But it's paradise here. We're surrounded by miles and miles of forest and some forestry roads throughout the forest. You've got Betws about probably 2 miles away as the crow flies, but it's a 20-minute drive to here from the main road. So we just come here to switch off basically and cook some food and tire the dog out. Not chewing tobacco, nice.
Me and Jack went for a walk and I found a den, so I'm going to go show Alan now.
We're going to see a den. Prayer flags. Just feels like we've got our own woodland because there's no one here. There hardly ever is anyone here. I think we've only seen 2 people public in all the times we've come here, just playing around in the woods.
Do you want a beer?
Time is it?
4:10.
Beer o'clock.
No, but I'm not saying that because I'm not a loser. You've got loads to choose from.
Yeah, go on. Cheers. Been a while since I've had a brew dog. Got a Hazy Jane. I've got myself a new drinking mug as well. Flaming Food Festival. Me and Sarah went to a barbecue food festival a few weeks ago. Yeah, something different. So we're currently enduring this awful weather. I've just unwrapped my tomaporks. You might have heard of tomahawks before, which is a ribeye in the bone, beef. These are pork chops on the bone with pork belly. And I got them from a place called Yorkshire Craft Butchery, I think it was, near Huddersfield. We went to see them at the Flaming Food Festival, the barbecue food festival a few weeks ago. And I've just dusted them in some Lumberjacks cowboy butter. We've got the charcoal lit. And hopefully I don't mess this up because I've never cooked these before. So you might have heard me say this before, outdoor cooking is always a lot more effort than cooking at home, but it's nearly always worth it. These tomaporks I got are way bigger than I thought they were. And what I'm trying to do is cook them indirect for around half an hour to render the fat on the belly pork side, and then cook them direct to get a nice char on the lamb chop side. But because the grill is so small, it's very hard to get the meat away from the coal. You may all laugh at me for owning several fire pits. Bringing several fire pits to a camping trip pays dividends. I've just had to light the Atago, the Petromax Atago. I need to work out which one I'm going to call it. The Petromax, yeah. I've lit the Petromax to relieve it. I just can't get the meat away from the heat.
While Alan's cooking, I'm getting happily drunk. And yes, love, I need a top up. Chop chop.
So after a challenging cook, we've got a question for you.
So yeah, since we've been back at the cottage, this is the cottage that we stayed at when we met up with a few people in February last year. And it's made us sort of think, do we meet up with people again? Do we do it here or do we do it somewhere else?
The two options we've got is, this is an amazing location. You're miles away from everybody. You've got the option to have a campfire outside, whether it's on the floor or on a fire pit. But then if the weather's bad, we can get in the cottage. But we are limited to
7 max.
possibly 7 vans maximum on top of our van.
And the size of the van is sort of restricted as well.
And granted, we're not the most popular YouTubers, but we feel like we might be able to get like 15 vans in a field instead. And I'm just wondering what people's preferences. Would you like to come somewhere like this where you've never seen before? You've probably never been somewhere like this before, and have the option to be in the cottage if the weather turns bad, because there's a nice log burner inside and a kitchen and a toilet and everything like that. Or
Very basic.
yeah, very basic. Or would you prefer to be in a field surrounded by like-minded people, potentially in bad weather, and just take the risk?
Let us know. But yeah, we're thinking of having a little get together.
Don't ever wish for no wind, because the midges come out. They're everywhere. The tomaporks are resting, and what I've done is I've created a compound butter, which sounds a bit technical, but it's basically dry rub mixed in with room temperature butter, and I've put those little lumps of butter on top of the tomaporks to keep them moist and give them a little bit of a buttery, rubby type cowboy buttery flavour. This is why you need a fire pit with a grill, so you can cook your tea, not dinner, tea, and then when it's ready to eat, then throw some logs on the fire and have a fire. Now, while you normal folk might have butter on your baked potatoes, we're having boursin, and that's because our original plan was to make mash with boursin mixed into it, but we had a few too many beers and the meat was a challenge, so we couldn't be bothered, so we just did baked spuds in the coals, wrapped in foil. They're now buttery soft, and we're going to have boursin cheese mixed in with them.
You pointing at me?
Yeah,
To do what?
to talk.
I think we've had the best night we've had in ages. Just you and me. Fire. Nothing else. And amazing food. Alan cooked the best food ever tonight. Tomapork, garlic mash, or garlic jacket potatoes and carrots. It was amazing. And I can't breathe. I think I need an inhaler.
Bit of a different morning this morning. We've got overcast skies, we've had rain, forecast says it's going to be here all day, wind's picked up, I'm feeling a bit delicate. How's your back?
It's hurting. I was trying to zap some midges in the van, so I stood on the seat and I went to grab the headrest to lean on, and the headrest moved and I just fell backwards onto the floor. And it hurt. I think I'm gonna have bruises.
So right now we're packing up, making sure the place is clean and tidy. We were going to cook our breakfast here and then go for a bit of a walk, but the weather is so changeable and you can just see lots and lots of rain on the horizon, so I think we might treat ourselves to go home and spend Sunday afternoon at home. Going for a little mooch first, make sure the dog is tied when we get home. Got no mushrooms in the forest this time. I didn't expect there to be any, but I've mentioned a few times I don't really know what I'm doing, and obviously you have to be careful when you're picking mushrooms. And Sarah's bought me a course, so in November, North Wales, I'm going on a mushroom course, so I don't kill myself. Just stopped to capture the sound of a woodpecker. Normally woodpeckers go dead quick. This one's like tap 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 tap. You can hear it dead clearly. I had to stop to try and capture the sound. And when you stop and listen for this bird that obviously didn't make the noise then, there's loads of birds in the trees. It's just a bizarre experience in the forest.
Had a fab little night, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been good.
No need to make any sort of effort, not that you mostly think I ever do.
Me neither.
But we knew we weren't going to see anybody. Yeah, nice food, nice drinks, nice surroundings. The cottage itself's a bit of like a shack, but the location and to use it with your campervan's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll no doubt see you soon, eh?
Toodle pip.